Why is it so hard to slow down, do less, and take care of yourself, even when you understand that it is good for you slash what you need? Let's discuss. So often when you start doing your personal development work, you realize you come into this awareness of why you overwork, why you push, why you hustle, why you override. And often that stems from a parent that told you you were never going to amount to anything. That realization as a child that the only way you were going to get the kind of attention that you wanted was to do well, to achieve, to get good grades. Um, Maybe the same experience at school. And then it kind of gets reinforced, right? You go into the workplace, etc. And you have this understanding of like, oh, it makes perfect sense why I override, why I people please, why I want everything to be perfect, because I carry this childhood wound with me still that says, I'm a worthless piece of shit. I'm not good enough. I'm never going to amount to anything. And isn't it incredible? I've made all of these adaptations to protect myself from that core belief. And then this is where most people get stuck because it's like, okay, well, now I understand this about myself, and now I'm an adult and I've achieved all these things. I don't need these, don't need that stuff anymore, do I? I can just chill out. I can just relax. I don't need mum and dad's approval anymore in order to survive. I don't need that. I can feed myself, right? I'm good. Except what tends to happen is you have this awareness but the behavior doesn't change. And then it feels really quite frustrating, especially when you are like a high performer, perfectionist. It's like, but now I have this awareness and I want to change this behavior. Why can't I change it? And so we try and push and hustle and force ourselves into behavior change, getting more and more frustrated that it isn't happening. And so, what is happening underneath the surface that needs looking at is the nervous system patterns, the protective parts, what I would call like the deeper layers of the psyche, our inner council, the nervous system, the body that have not caught up to your new intellectual awareness. So, your brain is saying, oh, actually, don't have to work that hard. It's safe to rest. I don't have to push anymore. And then, but your nervous system is still running the story of to protect myself from people realizing I'm a worthless piece of shit, to protect myself from people ignoring me, to protect myself from being overlooked, to protect myself from getting no attention. These are the adaptations that need to happen. And anything that goes against those adaptations does not feel safe for me. So I am going to force this system to continue with these adaptations because right now, I don't believe that this system can survive without these adaptations in place. And some of that will be part stuff, some of it will be somatic. It really doesn't like the actual whatever it is doesn't really matter. You know, there's a whole debate right now about does the body keep the score or do we just adapt intellectually? Is it all still in the mind? Well, even if it is in the mind and trauma isn't stored in the body, you're still bracing, not saying things. So you're having sore shoulders and sore hips and a tight jaw, right? So we still have to work with, we're still never, ever, ever just a floating neck and head. Okay. And so I just want to normalize this because awareness is amazing, but awareness is step one in embodied transformation, right? We want to create awareness. We want to know and we want to understand our patterns and where our patterns came from. But we don't need to spend forever digging around in there. It's then, okay, well, now I have this awareness. Now I can see where I want to go. What needs to then shift psychologically, physiologically in my body so that I can naturally take a different response, respond in a different way? Because if you are trying to force an outcome without dealing with these underlying parts, the good stuff, the weeds, you are going to continue to force and hustle and push and override your needs. And actually, what we want is to come into this lovely place of balance and homeostasis where we no longer need these protective parts. We no longer need these nervous system responses. We no longer need these survival patterns, but they are naturally releasing themselves. We aren't trying to force and push and override ourselves over the top. So it's less about management and it's more about reassigning those parts something else to do. You know, if at 7 years old, you decide you need to work all the time and push yourself and do everything that you can to make daddy proud, that 7-year-old part of you that has been doing that ever since, they might just want to chill out a bit. They might want to go and have some fun. They might want to rest. They might want to play. And so the work is, how do we start to reassign these roles? Because we're not trying to get rid of the parts. We have this inner council made up of all of these aspects of self. And it's like, how do we create a like cohesive ecosystem within ourselves where the parts aren't all doing battle? So I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to turn this into a mega long training. But this is why it can be so hard to rest and take care of yourself and slow down, even when you understand why you are overworking, pushing, forcing, and hustling. You have to go into the deeper layers. And so if you want to understand or a greater understanding of the deeper layers, you can download my free masterclass, The Art of Embodied Transformation. And in that, I walk you through the 3 key practices and the 6 initiations that you would go through yourself, or if you're a practitioner for other people, you would take another person through in order to facilitate embodied transformation, by which I mean not just managing, but facilitating lasting embodied change. So you can grab that for free below. Any questions, come and let me know. If you're watching this on Instagram, go and find it via the link in my bio. And I wish you all a fabulous day.